back. And we're back and we're live. And I have a new beautiful guest now this evening here, Mr. Rowan Congan. Everybody give him a round of applause.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you don't hear much from Tom Cruise during the coronavirus, do you?
Interesting enough, yeah. Of all celebrities.
Yeah, he's gone very quiet, Tom.
Yeah, what's their view on it? They probably go like this. They have an idea as well about like medication though and stuff like that. That they would go, oh no, it's a kind of a mind over matter thing with them and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I think they're hidden. They're hiding in the moon at the moment.
They could very well fucking be as well, because you don't know.
Well, watch out to the sky at night time. You'll see the spaceships traveling towards the moon. That's Tom Cruise and John Travolta in the boys.
Tom Cruise with John Travolta. Ah, jeez, Tom Cruise would be flying because he's his pilot's license.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Exactly.
So
See? John Travolta would be dancing, listening to fucking Grease, the Grease soundtrack on the way up.
Yeah. Ah, come on, not again, John. I'm sick of that song. I can see him like the thing in Pulp Fiction as well. He's on the moon. You know that thing with the.
Yeah.
Looking for Marcellus Wallace's wife.
So this is live now on Facebook, is it?
It is live now as well. We're just after doing it there now as well. Like so, fucking no.
Very good.
So it's a gallery with yourself now as well. You're out the countryside now, as we were saying earlier on. You're out the middle of nowhere.
I am. I left Dublin just as the coronavirus kicking off. Not because of that, but I was leaving anyways because I was kind of getting sick of the city. But now I'm living in the west of Ireland, again. So it's nice to be back where my mother had me in the first place.
Yeah. Oh, so it's close to where you grew up as well, where you're living now again.
Close, but not too close. You know, I'm still about an hour and a half. Like Mayo is a massive county.
It is, yeah, fucking hell.
Massive. So I'm about an hour and a half from my parents' house.
What's a fake? And you're on your own now as well, he is.
No, I'm with the lady.
Oh, it's Mrs. R.
I'm madly in love.
Madly in love. Yes, one person to hug anyway. You're all right. Anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. Even though she stopped me doing that now because of the virus.
Oh, right.
Well, she says the virus.
Did you used to do a bit of belly dancing as well back at the time?
I did. And actually, funnily enough, I do this other type of dancing now, but I haven't done it for years. It's called Nia. And it's a bit of a mix of Tai Chi, yoga, modern dance, all put together to really good world music. But I haven't done it for years. I used to do it in London. It's not as dynamic, but it's great. Like, that's another thing, actually. Like the importance of moving your body when you can't go outside.
I can't fucking hug people. I miss that. I kind of do.
That's it as well.
Yeah, man.
That's it. I listened to Marion Key's latest video on YouTube. I love her, Marion Keyes.
Marion Keyes. Do I know her?
Yeah, the writer.
The name rings a bell. I'm just trying to get the name to the face. Yeah, but go on.
Yeah. Anyway, she was the one to mention, like, the thing that you can't touch and be touched.
Yeah.
You know, and in Italy, everyone, men, women, men to men, women to women, they kiss. It's very common.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember when all this started, we were told to like find another way of like instead of kissing. And so we were doing things like giving each other an elbow like this.
It's not right, you know, it's not fair. I was really happy.
It's not.
And I couldn't hug, and it was just hugging myself right now. That's the only thing I can do.
Yeah.
Myself on the back.
Here, I'll give you a big hug.
Yeah, air hug. So there'll be a few more maybe plays and shows that'll be written maybe as well out of this now, or.
Well, absolutely. I was just talking to my partner in crime, Michael Harness, about over the last half hour. He wrote a play which we were planning on doing later on in the year, which is a play written for two actors, and I was just suggesting to him that maybe we might do it as a film with one actor playing both parts. It's a kind of a deep personal secret that somebody's been harboring all their life, and now they're in a position of power, and it's kind of coming to light. So
it's coming to bottom, like kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's kind of I was thinking of doing it, maybe the idea of doing it in a confession box, you know, because it's a religious type thing, you know, and so playing both parts, but in the shadowy kind of lighting of a confession box.
Right,
So I'm due to get an upgrade on the phone next week in Stewie, and after 2 years of waiting. So it'll be capable of shooting at broadcast standards, you know. So it could be an interesting way of adapting the play, and then give a challenge for myself as the actor to do both parts.
Would you do it like a pre-record, or would you actually stream the even piece? Would you, or like a kind of a
I
streamed?
think I think I'd have to pre-record, because if I'm doing both parts, you'd have to kind of film one part, then film the other.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
But the phone I'm getting has the facility on it to edit cut, you know. So I'd be able to kind of put it together then. But I think it could be interesting, you know.
So you're keeping well and safe in this lockdown as well. All good, Jess?
Yeah, Shawnee, you know, keep it real, you know.
Playing a bit of music here and there as well and stuff like that. Yeah.
Play the music. I did a gig on Facebook Live there on Friday, my first one. Then I did another one last night. So I'm going to do another one next Friday. And
we'll put a little link and share as well onto our page as well.
Also, nice.
You know.
Yeah, I haven't got the event up yet because there's something going on my phone, but I'll get one going on, you know.
Actually, yeah, good man. That's well, man. That's a beautiful piece as well. Like that, you did as well. You did all yourself as well. Like did you edit and
Which one was it? Lockdown or Quarantine Boudoir?
Yeah, Quarantine Boudoir that we put on there.
No, there was a great guy, Jordanis, filmed that. A guy from Greece. I went over to a friend's house to film it with my friend, and then he was there and he says, "Who's filming that?" And I said, "My friend Antonella, she runs the Backloft Studios." And he went, "Let me film it. I'm a filmmaker." And I said, "Yeah, Jordanis Stropopoulos." And he just took it to another level with the filming, you know. But the song I did all myself, except the drums are by Abel Benito in Spain.
Abel Benito, shout
out to Abel in Spain, legend. And Fernando Castillos, who is also the bass player with what's that? Very good band. They used to busk in Dublin. They're really big now. They sound like somewhere in America. Oh, I can't remember.
Bluegrass.
No, the big Irish band. Like, what the heck is the name in America that they sound like? They used to busk in Dublin. They're big. They play huge places now, but I can't remember their name. But they're a big band. He plays bass with them.
All right, Canelo, grand as well. Like so, you've been doing this for a few years.
Key West.
Okay, yeah, Key West. Oh yeah.
We'll move on, Terry, a little bit. We're going to be showing your film, as you know, after this interview. So Patrick's Day. I watched it there last week with Shawnee, who can't be here tonight, but wow, it blew me away. It was very dark and very questioning about mental health, and there were all kinds of connections there that I was watching. How did you get to write that film? Where did it come from? What was that, from your own understanding, or where were you getting the story?
It was a combination of a few things. I used to work as an orderly in Newcastle, Piedmont Hospital in Newcastle.
Okay.
And again, it was one of those kind of.
And is Newcastle a psychiatric hospital?
Yeah. And an old TB hospital as well.
Okay.
And it was one of those scenarios where, again, a kind of work experience scenario. And I remember I was brought in as a kind of guinea pig. I didn't know I was a guinea pig at the time. I was too young to understand what was happening. But there was a male ward and a female ward. And the male ward and the female ward had never been allowed to be connected before. So they brought me in, and they're amazing. The residents were incredible. And most of the staff were incredible as well. But over the course of several weeks, I got to know them very well, and I seemed to have an affinity with them or whatever. They were celebrating how I was engaging with them. And then the management decided they were going to put me on the female ward. And that was not acceptable to half the women there.
Okay.
But perhaps with justification. And there was a lot of problems, a lot of...
They worried about being accosted or, yeah?
Well, they were worried about many things with justification.
Yeah.
Now, I was a young kid at the time, but at the same time, you're personally offended at the suggestion that you're capable of anything along those lines. But at the same time, historically, this is the opposite of
Mm.
the inequality. Historically, men are fucking scum when it comes to vulnerable women, and that needs to be recognized and always observed. So I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But in this scenario, they decided that they were not going to allow me onto the ward, and it was one of those ridiculous things. That she had a red tape, lovely woman, I might add, but she put the red tape on the ground. It says, "You don't cross that line." And I was young enough and dumb enough. I stepped over the line straight away.